Honestly, not my wildest dreams did I ever think this was going to happen. But now that you're watching this, I'm sure you already know. Otherwise, you're in for a big spoiler. John Cena turned heel. That is genuinely totally nuts, especially because there are a lot of things we need to talk about. First off, it happened at the Elimination Chamber, which is essentially a B-level pay-per-view. Imagine I told you 15 years ago, oh, we're waiting until Elimination Chamber to turn John Cena heel? You wouldn't have believed me. And as we know, the phrase, never say never, holds true. But whoever came up with never say never, and it wasn't Vince McMahon, despite what some buffoon tweeted, they must have traveled through time knowing that John Cena was going to turn heel, which is why they said never say never in the first place. We went through all the Elimination Chamber matches, and we'll get into them a bit, but come on, we have to talk about this first. John Cena wins the chamber, and then it happens. John Cena won the men's Elimination Chamber in a really good match, and ended with him and CM Punk with Cena applying the STFU, while Seth Rollins was outside the ring yelling, "Die, die," which genuinely made me laugh because it was so absolutely ridiculous in the best possible way. I also love that they segued straight into The Rock storyline. So The Rock comes out with Travis Scott, which by the way is wonderful. Cody Rhodes is there. Then The Rock launches into his totally unhinged, "I want your soul" speech. I mean, he literally says he needs Cody's soul. He says they're going to be lovers. They're going to be brothers for the rest of their lives. And the best thing about Cody being such a super over babyface is that he can say the most ridiculous things that, out of context, sound terrible. But he said, "Can't sell you my soul because I already gave it to this ring and the people years ago." My wrestling loving brain just went, "Damn right, Cody." Then John Cena loses it. Cody Rhodes, can I say this? Screw it, I'm gonna say it. Whatever happens, happens. Cody tells The Rock to fuck off. You have to say it like that. Normally I'd say flub, but Cody saying that to The Rock, who sold it like he was going to murder him, it's just insane. Cena, meanwhile, is dancing around the ring. He hugs Cody Rhodes. It's the most pro wrestling thing ever. It's so dumb in the best way because the cameraman somehow knows what's about to happen. The camera zooms in on Cena's face, and you see him instantly switch into stereotypical heel mode. He's smiling, then, wait a second, I just realized I'm supposed to be bad now. The Rock slits his throat, and then, boom, John Cena boots Cody Rhodes in the balls. This Canadian crowd lost their minds, as they should. And then imagine this. I tell you that The Rock, John Cena, and Travis Scott proceed to beat down Cody Rhodes. They hit him with the championship belt. They hit him with The Rock's weightlifting belt. They hit him with his own stupid Rolex. The Elimination Chamber goes off the air with those three standing together. I doubt Travis Scott will be heavily involved going forward, but why not? Alright, TV and movie fans, let's be honest. Keeping up with your favorite shows, new releases, and live events can feel like a full-time job. You got one app for binge watching, another for live TV, a separate one for sports. Before you know it, you're paying for 5 different services and still missing out on what you actually want to watch. Well, Hulu plus Live TV changes all of that. With Hulu plus Live TV, you get the best of both worlds. Not only do you have access to Hulu's massive streaming library, we're talking thousands of movies, hit TV series, and exclusive originals, you also get over 90 live channels including ESPN, ABC, FX, Fox, NBC, and more. That means live sports, breaking news, and your must-watch reality TV all in one place. Plus, let's talk convenience. No cable box, no contracts, no hidden fees, just instant access to the shows and games you love, whenever and wherever you want. Watch on your TV, laptop, phone, or tablet. It's completely up to you. So if you're tired of the hassle, the high prices, and the constant FOMO when a big game or season finale drops, Hulu plus Live TV is your all-in-one solution. Sign up today, cancel anytime, and start watching the way TV was meant to be on your terms. Get Hulu plus Live TV now and never miss a moment. Use the link in the description and join today. It's good for mainstream attention and WWE loves that. But you can also ignore it if you thought it was too much. Cody Rhodes, meanwhile, is bleeding in the ring, looking disappointed. And no one does a disappointed face better than Cody Rhodes. I made noises. I went crazy. I couldn't believe it. I had a mini meltdown. I was like, I need to be making content right now. But thankfully, I can do that. And I don't want to sound like a nerd, although obviously I am going to sound like a nerd, but I want to give so much credit to John Cena. I'm sure Cena could have pushed back on this. He could have said, man, I don't think I should do this in my final year. But I think he went the other way because he's a creative so-and-so. That's why he's done so well in Hollywood. Maybe the idea was pitched to him. Maybe he pitched it himself. Either way, he probably thought, we've got 12 months, man. It's only early March. I could be a good guy again by the summer. Who cares? Or maybe he wants to retire as a heel. Maybe he wants to put someone over huge. Because that's so John Cena. He's a very, very giving guy when it comes to professional wrestling. And you have to give WWE so much credit for this. It's a ballsy move. It takes courage, and it's not just John Cena turning heel. It's John Cena and The Rock as a team. We basically have the two-man power trip at 2001 running wild again. And heading into WrestleMania, this just breeds so much interest. Triple H said on Friday that there's a seismic change happening in WWE. And sure, he always says that. He's a promoter. It's his job. Just like when Tony Khan says, I'm the best surprise ever for you. They have to hype things up. Thing is, this time, we believe it. Triple H just bought himself equity with the fans. And that is so important in pro wrestling. Now I know some people were feeling a little wishy-washy about the WrestleMania 41 build. But after this, you can't be wishy-washy now. Of course, it's your opinion. You can feel however you want. But look at where we are. John Cena wins the Elimination Chamber and immediately turns heel on Cody Rhodes. That means we're getting heel John Cena versus Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 41. So why did John Cena turn heel? Now, I'm sure this has been explained on Raw after this, prior to this video being released. But let's get to it. John Cena probably did this because he has to win that 17th world title. He has to be the record breaker. My gut tells me that he's going to beat Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. He's going to go on a rampage throughout WWE as a super duper mega heel, holding that title hostage. Then maybe he finally drops it in December. Because here's the thing, Cena reportedly has 35 dates booked this year, and he's only used about 3 of them. That means even if he has 30 dates left, that's more than enough to be a world champion. Lesnar did it. Roman Reigns did it. Plenty of part-timers have done it. And let's be real. Raw's rating is going to be massive this week. SmackDown's rating is going to be massive. This will be the biggest WrestleMania ever. Now, I'm not being disparaging towards The Rock versus Roman Reigns. That was a huge match. But let's be real. John Cena turning heel is 25 years in the making. 25 years of people asking for it. And WWE did it at a time when nobody expected it. This is why I love wrestling. This is why I love the WWE. It never makes sense. It's a wild ride. And this is a moment you will remember forever. Now let's get sentimental for a second. In life, you remember the big moments. You remember getting married. You remember your kids being born. You remember a great birthday party or a special moment with a loved one before they passed. And if you're a wrestling fan, you remember where you were when the Undertaker's streak ended. You remember when The Rock came back in 2011. And now, you'll remember where you were when John Cena turned heel. Because this is one of those moments. So was this all planned from the beginning? Now there's speculation that WWE had this plan for ages, and we all just got played. And honestly, good. I want to be worked in pro wrestling. When that Drew McIntyre report came out saying he was going to win the chamber, I jumped on that bandwagon too. But I always say, take everything with a grain of salt. Because unless you're literally The Rock or Triple H, you don't know what's going to happen. And that's what makes it so fun. Even if this was planned for months, who cares? The execution was perfect. So how did WWE keep it a secret? Well, there's an interesting little behind the scenes story about that. Apparently, Triple H kicked the production truck people out before this moment happened. Why? Because he didn't want it to be leaked. He did the same thing when CM Punk returned. And maybe, just maybe, they leaked the Drew McIntyre win rumor on purpose. If so, brilliant move. Keep working me. Keep surprising me. That's what wrestling is all about. So, prior to this video, I was going to do a Elimination Chamber predictions video, and I forgot to record it, of course. But I will admit, I got all my predictions wrong. And of course, I did not predict John Cena turning heel, as probably not many did. And that's why it was so good. I always find it weird when people get mad that wrestling worked them. 2 decades, WWE was so predictable. Every swerve felt pointless or forced. This was brilliant. And now we have a heel John Cena who has to win the championship at WrestleMania 41. So let's jump over to the Women's Elimination Chamber with Jade Cargill's return. I feel bad for Jade Cargill, Randy Orton, and Jey Uso. Because every time they do something major, WWE just one-ups them with a bigger moment. Or Randy Orton. He comes back, boom, CM Punk returns. He comes back again, boom, John Cena turns heel. But let's talk about the Women's Elimination Chamber for a second. Jade Cargill comes out before the match even starts and absolutely destroys Naomi. Meanwhile, Bianca Belair, Naomi, and Liv Morgan were all wearing white. And Jade, she was wearing black. That visual was so good. Commentators even played it up like, oh, she thinks it's Liv Morgan. But no, Jade knew exactly who she was attacking. Bianca Belair wins the chamber by taking out Liv Morgan. So now we have Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania. And of course, Jade Cargill versus Naomi is probably happening too. And I have a feeling Bianca might turn heel. You can't turn Rhea heel right now, she's too popular. But turning Bianca heel, that's tough. I said the same thing about Roxanne Perez though, and I was totally wrong. Bianca Belair is already one of the best of all time. She's that good. But she's also such a brilliant babyface. Still, I'm here for it. Just try things. If it works, great. If it doesn't, who cares? You can always course correct. There's still... Now let's talk about that Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn match. We're going to have to give this match a few days before people truly give it the credit it deserves. Because let's be honest, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are modern day GOATs. This match was brutal. It was horrible. It was everything it needed to be. I saw some people say, oh, it wasn't as violent as some other matches. Who cares? Stop comparing everything. Every match doesn't need to be a bloodbath. What matters is how it felt. And this felt real. The spots that made this match special, we had barbed wire, chairs, crazy falls through tables, a blue thunder bomb through a trash can. And as always, the blue thunder bomb remains the least devastating move in all of sports entertainment. It doesn't matter if you do it through tables, chairs, steel steps, or onto thumbtacks. It's never getting the 3 count. The ending, though, perfect. Kevin Owens hits the pop-up powerbomb. Then he powerbombs Sami into the ring apron, which was sold like death. Owens looked like he was about to finish Sami for good. He grabbed him, dragged him towards the concrete, and was about to hit a package pile driver, but then Randy Orton's music hits. Randy walks down and you think, oh, he's going to save Sami. He even teases going for the punt kink on Kevin Owens, but then boom, he hits the RKO on Kevin Owens instead. That means one thing. The real WrestleMania payoff will be when Orton actually hits the punt kick, because every time he tries, people run in to stop him. That was awesome. Just an absolutely brilliant match from start to finish. Now let's move on to the Men's Elimination Chamber match. This match was awesome. We got a moment between CM Punk and John Cena, which is even better in hindsight, now that we know Cena was about to turn heel. Seth Rollins is the MVP of the chamber. As always, he's the Liv Morgan of the men's division. He just gets it. We got an insane spot where Punk hit him with the GTS into an attitude adjustment combo. That kind of justifies Rollins getting eliminated there. But the most important part, we're definitely getting Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest at WrestleMania. Why? Because Damian Priest eliminated Drew in the most devastating way possible. Drew thought he had Cena beat, but then boom, Damian hit the most devastating move in all of wrestling. A surprise roll-up. Honestly, Drew getting rolled up might be funnier than Liv Morgan hitting a blue thunderball. The way Logan Paul got eliminated was also hilarious. Drew got so angry that he claymored Damian Priest right in the skull, and that allowed Logan Paul to sneak in and get the pin. Then, in the most satisfying moment of the night, CM Punk hit Logan Paul with a GTS and eliminated him. Thank you, Punk. So is Logan Paul in the WrestleMania picture? So here's where things get interesting. I'm starting to think that Logan Paul, McIntyre, and Priest might all be involved in the same match at WrestleMania. Because right now, I don't see where else Logan Paul fits. But I guess we gotta wait and see. And of course, the final tease, John Cena's heel turn, was hinted all along. When Cena finally locked in the STFU on CM Punk, he didn't wait. He didn't do his usual never give up shtick. He didn't pander to the crowd. He just jumped straight to it because he had to win no matter what. And that was the biggest tease of the night. It was there all along. We just didn't realize it. And then Punk passed out, which is wild because outside of Cody Rhodes, Punk is probably the biggest babyface in the company. So why was this a perfect ending? Honestly, you have to go back and rewatch the show. It's only about 3 hours and 20 minutes, shorter than most Elimination Chamber matches, or pay-per-views. Because with only 4 matches in a big segment at the end, everything felt tight and well-paced. And the ending didn't overstay its welcome. It was about 10 to 12 minutes, but it didn't feel like overkill at all. It got straight to the point. Because WWE wanted to make a statement, and they did. This changes WWE forever. This moment will shift WWE in a totally new direction. Even in 2026, when The Rock is doing Hollywood stuff again, and Cena is gone, this will still matter. So what's next for The Rock and Roman Reigns? Is The Rock going to fight at SummerSlam? Will he wrestle at WrestleMania 42? What about Roman Reigns? So I think we're heading towards Roman Reigns versus Punk versus Rollins, John Cena versus Cody Rhodes. Even if this wasn't planned from the start, even if The Rock was just doing weird hand signals at Bad Blood, doesn't matter. Because we've stuck to our main events. He just shifted things around to fit The Rock in. And honestly, I would have loved babyface Cody versus babyface Cena, but this is even better. Fans wanted this for 25 years, and WWE pulled the trigger when nobody expected it. This is what happens when a company takes risks. And that's my most boring catchphrase of all time. If you have weekly television, don't do the same thing every week. Surprise me. Take risks. If something doesn't work, fix it later. This was perfect. So some of my other takeaways. I was shocked that Bayley was eliminated first in the Women's Chamber. Liv Morgan is on an MVP level right now, one of the best in the company. Alexa Bliss needs something to do. She's always over, but she has no storyline. Tag team wrestling in WWE is actually thriving. And finally, this was one of the most fun pay-per-views I've watched in years. So, drop me a comment below. What did you think? Some of you might not like it, and that's totally fine. But I want to hear from you. Let's talk about it. Like the video, share the video, subscribe. And click the video on the screen for more wrestling content. And if you want to support the channel, of course, you can buy us a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/cinemagold. Everything you give goes right back into the channel. And of course, thank you so much for watching and listening. We'll see you next time.